Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Stateside Weekly Market Report with Tim Robinson and Bryant Naylor. I am Tim. Bryant, I like your lights today. They are extra special.
Thank you. They're very blue today and colorful.
Well, there's multicolors, and I'm into that. It looks
I know,
good.
but
It
I'm
keeps
really honing in on this blue over here because it's
the blue's
really,
nice.
really blue.
It looks really good. It
That's
cheers
my
me up.
favorite color.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your lights are looking okay. I can see a
Yeah,
little bit.
I got work to do. I got work to do, but
That's right.
everyone knows that. Today, dear listeners, we are going to talk about lenders. We have a very unique market demographic that we deal with. A lot of our clients being foreign service officers, a lot of our clients being posted abroad and moving back to the States or investing from overseas. Today, we just want to focus a little bit on the absolute importance of lenders. And I think this is especially timely because of the rampant interest rate shopping that's going on recently, where it's very much like, can you save me an eighth of a point for the next 30 years? And just kind of next, apply, Rocket Mortgage, Quicken Loans, all these things that are online and very impersonal can get you a little bit of a better rate. But I think what we should cover today is at what cost. And the cost can be huge. I mean, I'm not even going to get into the fact that, they say I can get you 5.72 on an investment loan. Look in the details, see how many points that costs you, see the back end of that and see what it really costs, because 5.7, they don't just make that up. You're paying for it somewhere else. I mean, that's how the industry works. It's not, it's very much smoke and mirrors in a lot of situations. That being aside, that's a whole other episode. What we want to talk about specifically is the importance of a quality lender in terms of getting the transactions done that we need our clients to get done. In particular, we have folks that are closing from overseas. That requires, if you don't know, let's just go through that real quick, Brian. If you're closing from overseas, the typical closing, you go to meet with the title attorney at their office. Maybe you meet at the property. Maybe nowadays with the mobile notary, you meet at a coffee shop. You get your keys, you sign all the closing documents. You're a homeowner. A lot of our clients that are in Jordan and Bangladesh and Zambia, they can't do that. So in that case, there are a couple different options. One being a power of attorney, where in most cases, the title company will send a document to you wherever you are in the world. You wet sign that and overnight it back.
You get it notarized at the embassy.
You get it notarized at the embassy or somewhere else, typically the embassy. And you send it back stateside. The title company receives that, and you have assigned a power of attorney. You have assigned someone else the right and legal right to sign on your behalf. Right. And usually that can be anyone. You're going to pick obviously a family member, a friend. It can't be someone involved in the transaction. That's something to note. We cannot do it for you because we are legally involved as an agent in the transaction. So you have to get a friend or family member. With most title companies and most lenders, that can happen anywhere in the States. So it doesn't have to be in DC. You can send it to a family member in Ohio, a family member in LA, and they can sign these documents as long as they have the power of attorney. We see this not happening with every lender, and it is very much a lender decision. It is lender and title, but mainly lender. So what happens in the instance where you choose a lender and you're under contract, Bryant, and you're supposed to close in 3 days, and they say, oh, no, you can't do a power of attorney? Then what?
Nothing good. Nothing good happens. Yeah, nothing good happens. At that point, if the lender's not going to allow you to have a power of attorney to sign on your behalf, we're going to have to restart and find a different lender, or you're going to have to fly back to the United States to sign in person. Those are the two options. And if you're living, like you said, if you're living in Zambia, there's not necessarily flights out of those areas of the world on a daily basis that get back to the United States cheaply or in time. Yeah. So when we're talking about this, because we just had one agent on our team deal with this. And luckily for her client, I mean, they weren't overseas. They were not in the area, but they weren't overseas. So they could make it back here and get it done. But then Tim and I started talking about it. Like, what happens if that happened with one of our clients living way overseas somewhere? Then what? So that's kind of why we started down this rabbit hole about why some of the lenders that we work with, they are used to working with people that are overseas, and we know there's not going to be any surprises with power of attorney issues. Right. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, we bring this up because it is, you know, it, I think real estate as a whole has become very transactional, very, discount. I mean, we talked about discount agents at one point, but it really depends on who you work with. Like it is not just who can get you the best rate, is can you actually buy this house? That is exponentially more important than saving an eighth of a percent on an interest rate, which you can eventually refinance out of anyways. We pick lenders that we work with that have been through it all. They know our lifestyle. They know that people are not going to be at title to close in person because they're at post overseas. They know that they have to send a power of attorney, and there's no such thing as overnight from Bangladesh. It's going to be 7 days. They know the time frame. They know these things, and that is worth all the money. I mean, it literally is have a stress-free transaction that you know is going to close. We intuitively trust certain lenders, and like when we obviously recommend, just there's only a few lenders. It's not just like choose from these 20. It's people that we have been through the trenches with, that have seen everything and gotten through, and like we trust them. And not only do we trust them to get these things done, they can get it done quicker, like in this very competitive environment. And this, we have no financial incentive to say this. I mean, it's illegal to get kickbacks from lenders, like this is
Exactly.
this is strictly because we believe in them and we know they do good work. And we recommend them because they can close quickly. They can do it all. They're going to close, and we can write more competitive offers. We can close in 3 weeks instead of 4. A lot of times, we can waive financing contingencies because we trust them intuitively. If you're coming to me with Quicken Loans or PNC or Wells Fargo or someone that I don't know which loan officer is going to be working on it which day, much less if they can close, I'm not waiving anything because I don't trust them. I don't know them, but I know these folks. And I think it's so much more important. So, I mean, if this is a PSA to choose your lender wisely, it does matter. This is not, shopping for the cheapest shirt off the rack. Like, you need someone who knows what they're doing, who's experienced in your particular situation, and that we know can close, because it is a big deal. When Brian kind of said, "Oh, you have to find a new lender," yeah, that's a big deal. Like, you have to let the listing agent know. They have to start the underwriting process. You have to
Well,
start the timeline over. You have to send new power of attorney documents. Like, it starts everything over. And if
yeah.
you're under, strict, I'm closing on the 21st, and this gets pushed to the 3rd of next month, you're at very real risk of losing your earnest money deposit, which
Exactly.
can be
They don't have to
thousands of
extend it.
dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
don't
don't have to.
have to.
Right.
So
So you're
that's another
contractually
point.
bound to close when you're supposed to close, regardless of if you picked a bad lender or not. So yeah, I mean, we can go on this forever, but
Yeah,
we're trying to do good at keeping public service announcements brief, Brian. And I think we're doing a good job.
I think so too. I will add one more thing about having a local
Please.
lender is if, and especially in this very competitive market, if we need to get an offer in on a house last minute and it's Saturday night, we're not going to be
Yes.
able to get an updated pre-approval letter with the funds on there stating that you can afford the house from any lender. I mean,
Nope.
some of them will, but the vast majority of them, like especially some of the internet ones, when or federal credit unions as well. I've tried to get a hold of the lender on the weekend, and I literally get a voicemail saying I will return your call on Monday. I'm like,
Right.
that's not going to work.
Right.
So again, if you're a
That's a
local
great point.
local lender, it's hey, I need a pre-approval letter in like 10 minutes. We're gonna be submitting an offer. And I've all of the lenders we work with are like, yeah, sure. Or even some of the lenders that clients have come in with that are local, or not anybody that we recommended them for, but they're still some kind of a local lender. They're answering their phone and they're getting us that information, and we're getting the offer submitted, and we're doing like a shorter timeline too.
Yeah.
Tim also said, it was like some of these lenders, they don't order the appraisal till 3 weeks after we're under
Right.
contract. That doesn't work.
Right. No, that's
So
an excellent point. Thanks for bringing that up, because that's huge. And I've won offers strictly because of that. You know
yep.
what I mean? Where they're like, "Hey, this house has only been on the market 24 hours, but my deadline is tonight." And I'm like, "Okay, it's Saturday at 6 o'clock. Hey team, can you please get me a pre-approval letter?" 10 minutes later, I have it. We submit. We win. Like that. It's winning and losing. Like that. That's a big deal. And like, if you have, and I'm not, trying to crap all over Wells Fargo. I'm just naming generic big banks, where you just kind of talk to a portal and there's not a person there that can actually respond. You're not even going to take a swing at that offer. You can't. So yeah, lenders are important. Choose your lender wisely. I always encourage, and again, like we'll introduce you to all the lenders we work with. It's not just like here's the one. You know what I mean? We always encourage you to have conversations, explain your particular situation, get a feel for them. You're gonna have to trust these people for the next 4 weeks at least to get your job done. So like if you don't vibe with them, choose someone else that we recommend. But just know that we recommend folks that will close, that know our situation, that can get things done. Important, Bryant. Very, very important. Choosing your agent, very, very important. Yep. Choose Bryant. Maybe choose me. Choose both of us. But choose your lender very, very importantly. That's it. Right?
Bottom line. Right?
Bottom line.
At that 8 minutes.
We kept it under 10 minutes. We kept it under 10 minutes.
All right.
Excellent public service announcement. Well done, Bryant. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Stateside Market Report with Bryant and Tim. We hope you enjoy this. Please leave comments, subscribe, send it to people. Hopefully it's helpful and somewhat entertaining. We will see you next week with another 10-bit.
Thank you.